Let me open up this conversation and let's have it gently. Major Mohammad Ali Shah is on the broadcast with us. Major General Jenny is with us on the broadcast as well. Colonel Dinesh Nain is joining us on the broadcast. Wing Commander Bakshi is with me in the studio. Major Shah, I'm assuming, is the first person to speak to is the guy in the ATC who had the last communication with the pilot. What should be relevant information that can be drawn from there?
Rishabh, very good question. But before that, I will just tell you one thing. The entire area, Kunur Belt.
Yeah.
I did my schooling I was in a boarding school in Ooty, Lawrence School, Lovedale, which is right there, the Wellington Kunur Belt. So I know that area really very, very well. Yeah. Now, when we talk about change of weather in that area, well, the change of weather is more prominent in the northeast, in Nagaland, where General Bipin Rawat commanded a corps, 3 corps. In fact, he survived an air crash there on 3rd February 2015 when he was GOC 3 Corps. It was the Cheetah aircraft in which when I was ADC to GOC 3 Corps way back in 2006. At that time, we also, similar thing had happened with us, but nothing, we were very lucky, God was kind. Now, the GOC at that time in Dimapur and myself, we would never travel in the same chopper because it was small chopper. They were the Cheetahs. And I remember very clearly when General Bipin Rawat took over 3 Corps, I had happened to visit Nagaland and I had visited him. And that time we discussed this. We were talking about the bad weather in Nagaland that happens and the flights we used to take. He said one thing, which I still echoes in my ears. He said, one thing the top bosses should remember, they should never pressurize the pilot to fly when the weather is not right. In the Northeast, he had said this. Because they know better than the bosses themselves. So one thing is very clear. I know for a fact that General Bipin Rawat was a man who would not pressurize the pilot to fly if they're not ready, or if they're fatigued, or if there is bad weather.
Okay, so unlikely the pilots are fatigued. It's a very short flight. It's not a multi-hour, sortie.
Who will forget the air crash at Chanki? Shah, you will recall.
But General Jenny, I mean, but they do crash. We lost one just last month. We lost one in Tawang last month. Nobody died, but the plane crashed in Tawang also.
Yes, they do. And Shah, I'm very happy to hear from Shah a personal one-to-one account where Bipin Rawat mentioned to him that never pressurize the pilot.
Major Shah, there's the point of takeoff where I'm assuming with the CDS in the board, the station commander himself would be checking the Doppler radar from the Air Force station. The pilot, his co-pilot and a flight engineer is one of the few aircraft that still has flight engineers. Would be examining not only their onboard weather radar, but also the station systems. It's a short flight. So at some point of time, as you told us, since, hopefully nobody is forcing them, they would be comfortable with the weather. Now, what we can tell from the images taken immediately after the crash is that it's not sunshine. There is a bit of fog and a bit of mist. How much of a role should we be spending figuring out the weather in this, sir?
Now, I will equate this with a similar air crash in 1993. Lieutenant General Jamil Mahmood, who was the Eastern Army commander, had gone to Bhutan. And at that time, when he was flying over Northeast, at that time, it was Mi-17, not the same one as General Jenny rightly pointed out. It's an advanced version of Mi-17. At that time, all 8 people on board, they had died. There were no survivors. And of course, as Colonel Nain said, when a helicopter crashes, it comes down like a stone. Unlike a fixed wing, which has an option of gliding down and coming swiftly. But a helicopter has a rotor above, and that fails, it can be a technical snag. It can be banging into a tree, which was on of a high altitude, the tree. It can be coming into a wire. It can be a bird hit. It can be anything. It can be, let's not presume, it can be anything. Now, when such a thing happens, we attribute it basically to, say, bad weather. That's the first thing that comes to our mind. Now, as you asked me the first question, that, do you think it could have been a bad weather over there? Now, the helipad in Kunur, it's very close to the golf course. That entire area, as I told you, I'm very familiar with that. So it is actually, what do I say? Let's wait for the inquiry to come out. But yes, having said that, in 93, that similar thing had happened. And let me tell you, General Jamil Mahmood was next in line to be the next army chief as per the age is concerned. So at that time also, there were a lot of speculations that, oh, it could have been a sabotage, this could have happened. But when the inquiry came out, nothing as such really came out in the inquiry.
Okay, it could be nothing, it could be all of the above, could be something happened and we'll never know. Okay, so let's just examine reconstruction. Major Shah, we have to find out the truth because we have to learn from it and we have to hope that something nasty hasn't happened. How can we go about it in the most reasonable fashion? And within that, what is reasonable for the public to be informed? Because court of inquiries need not be in the public limelight.
Rishabh, I have utmost faith in the military court of inquiry. I think they are very, very fair, very impartial, and they go into the nitty-gritties and the details. And now, as General Jenny rightly said, in the court of inquiry, all those things would be sabotage, technical error, that would be all looked very carefully, and every single aspect would be looked in deeply. And only then will they come into a final result, a final conclusion. Having said that, let me tell you, most of the helicopter crashes result in fatal casualty, fatal. Because as I told you, it comes down like a stone. It's very rare to find a survivor in a helicopter crash. Unlike a fixed wing again, which also has a luxury of coming down with a parachute if the plane is crashing, jump off with a parachute. In a helicopter, imagine a stone coming down, or imagine a man jumping from a building where there is no time. So you fall and imagine the grave injury that happens. So certainly, the moment we hear of a helicopter crash, we know what we are in for, Rishabh.
Okay.